I'm your host, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And today, y'all see the slow jams. We got the slow jams today because we are going to be talking about my favorite all-time subject, relationships. But not any kind of relationships. We're going to get to the meat, the core, the love of relationships. You guys won't want to miss 1 second of this powerhouse speaker. This lady is phenomenal. Coming to the Gentleman Style Podcast stage. You won't want to miss 1 second of what we have to say. Here we go. I'm your host, Marcus Norman of the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Your favorite gentleman. I have with me, coming to the stage, this incredible woman, Miss Karmea Wells. She is blessing us on the Gentleman Style Podcast stage today to share and to talk about relationships. Miss Karmea Wells is not your average African-American queen. She is killing it. She's been through so much of the course of her life, going through it, pushing through, and striving to be the incredible woman she is today. She is a model, y'all, and she is ripping the runway. She's been on Eye Candy Calendar, Casa de la Rosa online clothing store, and branded in New York Fashion Week in 2022. This woman, you know her, you love her, coming to the stage. I can't talk highly enough about this woman. But what's it like? What's it like to get behind the scenes? This is an exclusive, y'all. Behind the scenes mind of a model. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the stage, Miss Karmea Wells.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fantastic. I'm excited to be interviewing a model, a professional, an expert. This isn't just some fly-by-night COVID-19 modeling. You've been modeling for years. Can you explain some of your journey? Can you tell us, like, what's it been like? When did you know it was time to step into your gift?
I knew initially, I guess, well, for me, some people it may be different, but for me, in the beginning, it was when I was younger. I love being in front of the camera. I kind of have that blend in between. I'm a girly girl, but I'm also a little bit tomboy. I put my own spin on it. I love being in front of the camera. I love taking pictures. So my mom pretty much was like, okay, I see where this child is going to be going. And that's how it started. So I started getting into little things in the course of my life and then started going straight forward with it. I want to say about a couple years ago.
That's real. That's super real. It's always incredible to meet experts like yourself who everybody thinks business, the modeling industry, acting, right? All that industry, the entertainment industry, it's something like, oh, she did one Instagram post, now NBA players in her inbox, now she's picked up and she's super modeling. Everybody thinks your industry is an easy industry. Can you tell us what your experience has been from getting into the entertainment field? Because now you've expanded. You're not just doing modeling anymore.
It's not as easy what people think. It's not something, there are some that may get, that special hit, like, oh, all I had to do was post one thing and I'm on now. No. A lot of people have to go through the work, got to go through, even building yourself inside and out. Like, say, for example, me, myself, I'm in plus size modeling. So already that comes with a stigma, even more to the regular models. So I have to come prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, because you don't know what's going to be thrown at you. And you also got to know what kind of modeling you want to do. You're going to go through a lot of crazy people in the industry. You got to know who's serious. You got to do your research so you don't get caught up out here.
Facts. So, see, it's not as easy as you guys think. You really got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. And this woman, Miss Karmea Wells, has put in the work. But I want to just segue into what's it like? What's dating been like for you? And what's it been like? Why everyone is having such a hard time making connections, finding love? So a model, I can imagine it's 10 times that. Like because you said it, you hinted to it. You have to, you screen people out. You got to be a little bit more careful. You got to be cautious. You're an influencer. You're encouraging other plus size women to love themselves, be themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to protect yourself. So can you speak to the woman about that and what's it like? What's dating like as a model?
Um, a lot of that, well, dating for any woman, especially a woman of color, it starts in the home of knowing, basically working on knowing who you are and also knowing what you want to. When you're going into the dating field as a woman, you're trying to figure out, basically, you're in that process of figuring out what you need, what you want to deal with, what you don't want to deal with. What is your, what's the word?
Requirements?
What requirements? What are your requirements? What will you bend on, or what will break it altogether? Um, Me, as being in modeling, you're going to go through different type of people, especially industry people who are trying to use you to see, okay, well, if she really wants this opportunity, that she's going to do this. I wasn't that person at all. I
Mm.
wasn't that type of person at all. So there were some opportunities that that dropped, which was okay, because I was like, if I have to throw away all my morals and how I feel about things and what I stand on strongly, then I don't need to do it. It's not necessary. And then you have some men who look at models as, oh well, they're not serious. I could just date them and do whatever because they're not they're not the wife material. When that's not the case. It's by case situations. It's based off the woman. You don't know what type of woman you really have, and you can't base it off of what you're seeing.
That's powerful. So
Mm-hmm.
you are already put into a box. People already assume
Mm-hmm.
they know everything about you just because of your career, your profession, and what you do on a very high level. So you
Yes,
got to be careful. Women, be
because
careful. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because within society already, once they see that, oh, she's showing skin or she's doing this, even if my whole profile, they like, you guys are, what I'm showing on my internet profiles, my social media pages, you're not even seeing my whole portfolio. But even of the few pictures some people may bring from that, oh, look at her, she's showing all this skin and everything. I just know she out here jumping from man to man. I just know she is. And that's not the case. I look at modeling as a type of art, from the editorial to print to everything. I look at all of that as it's a type of art. It's all in how you do it and how you present it. There's a way to do it. As we've seen, there's a lot of models out there that do different things. I don't knock it. That's just not my cup of tea. But they can have it. But for me, I'm very careful on how I do things, how I present myself, what photos are be represented of me, what projects I take, because everything is a part of not only my brand, but it's a part of my legacy going forward.
Ooh, ooh. She said it, y'all. She said the magic word, legacy. Legacy, that means she's talking about her future, y'all. She's not just thinking about tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
next week. She's thinking down the road, what is the image I want to put out into the world? What is the memory I want to leave behind? Super, super
Mm-hmm.
powerful. We talked about requirements. Well, you did. Since you brought it up, I gotta I gotta pick at it. But requirements. We hear so many different types of requirements. This rule out here, this rule out here. I want to ask the legend herself, are relationships 50-50? What is required in order for them to really work? If at all required. What do you feel about 50-50 relationships?
50-50. As we notice that we hear a lot of that in social media, especially right now, of the women, you got some women, you gonna take care of me 100%. I don't know what you talking about. You gonna take care of me. And then you got some that don't mind doing the 50-50. Me, myself, when I hear 50-50, I feel like you're going to automatically come to the relationship lacking because you're going to be like, I'm not going to give this person whole. They're going to have to work for it. When myself personally, I come from, not saying everyone's like this, but me, myself, I come from a two-parent household. I've seen my parents come with both 100%. Everything is not going to be perfect. Nothing, it's not going to be perfect, but how you work through things and talk about things and get through it is, that's what matters. The 50-50 thing, I don't look at it as 50-50 because I come with 100%. I give my all to it. Because if I'm in a relationship with you, then I'm going to work my hardest to make sure that I can assist you. You should be doing the same. It should be a reciprocal situation, back and forth. I should be getting all of you. You should be getting all of me. We should be coming in the middle to figure out how we're going to work everything out. Because if I'm giving 100% of me, whatever's lacking is something I could work on. But if I can't seem to get past a certain barrier, then it could be something that you have that I don't. So you should be coming full speed, 100%. When somebody says 50-50, I'd be like, I'm
coming in with less.
Right. I'll be like, you purposely coming in here half stepping, purposely. I'm gonna come in here half stepping because you gonna fill it in. That's not my problem. That's my mindset about it. Now, wait, everybody's different. You have some women who's okay with the 50-50. You have some women, like I said, they'd be like, oh, no, he's the man. He's going to take care of everything. But I feel like it's me personally, I come in with 100%. 100%. That's why when I was out here in the dating world, we got to be completely honest. You got to know when you're dating people, whether you're dating to actually settle down with this person or you're dating for just to pass time and have fun. You have to be real with yourself.
You got to be honest.
You got to be completely honest with yourself and honest with that person, because I'm a big person about that. Be honest with me. So
you saying if a guy is like, yo, when you was in the dating world, you were saying like, if he comes and all he want is the fun, the fun times, be honest about that. Be upfront.
Be honest about that, because I'm most likely at that time I wasn't for that, but you have to be okay with that. You have to give me the right to say yes or no whether I want to deal with that or not. Just like it's a double standard if you have a dude and he comes into the situation, he doing everything he want to do, but he don't want the female to do everything. What you mean you talking to multiple people? There's other people besides me. There's other females besides me. So Jen, Jenny, and all those people you're talking to, you telling me I can't talk to other people?
So you don't like it that way around. Like if you're gonna see other people, allow me the opportunity to see other people,
right?
Or that's not your bag. Like, hey, I don't even deal with that.
It depends. It depends on what stage you're at. If you're at that stage in your situation, you're dating multiple people, be honest about that. But I've known and ran into a few men when I was in the dating world that was like, oh, you talking to multiple people? That's not fair. Whoa, pause. You're talking to multiple people too. So you telling me you want me to throw away all my prospects while you're talking to 10 to 12? That's what you're saying? I don't think that's fair. But if you told me that, okay, I'm talking to you and only you for a chance to be serious with you, then I'll be like, okay. Then that gives me the chance to tell that person, okay, if that's the case, I will let them know where I'm at in my status. Am I talking to multiple people, or am I talking to you for fun, or talking to you to be serious?
So that opens the door.
Right. So you know whether you need to make a move or not.
So if he approaches you and says, hey, I want to be exclusive with you, you're the only girl I want, you're the only one I'm pursuing, and then you bounce back and say, well, I still want to keep my roster, then...
If I say that I still want to keep my roster and he says that I don't like that, that's cool. Then you can go on about your day. It's more. I no look. We
Just
gotta
like
be.
you cut,
We
boy.
we have to be honest with each other. We have to be honest. I don't like to play around with people. I don't like to play around with people's time. One thing about myself, I don't. You can't get another like I'm gonna use this month. You're not gonna get another August 2023 back. So for me to play with your time, you could get more money back. I don't like people playing my bag either, but you could get more money back. But
Disclaimer.
your time, you won't be able to get that back of wasting someone's time when you're playing with somebody and their particular perception or whatever. That's why honesty has to be there.
True.
If you tell somebody straight up front, and I know a lot of men be like, well, if they tell them up front, they go leave. Well, if they leave, they get enough to try with someone else. It's okay. It's more than that woman here, and you never know. Being honest with whichever one, you never know what woman you'll run into that may be for that what you're trying to do. Be like, okay, she may be cool with it, but a lot of males, I don't think they are cool with that. But
For the streets.
that's another street situation.
I love it, love it, love it. Karmea Wells, we are breaking it down. She is breaking it down, y'all. Woo, woo, woo. We getting spicy. We are talking about gender roles. So staying in line with gender roles. I have a personal question.
Yeah.
Right? This has been in existence since the courtship, since Jimi Hendrix, Martin, all the Luther Vandross, the love, right? If a man paying all the bills, girl, I'll pay all your bills. Just if a man pays all the bills, what is a woman's money used for in that relationship?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I let me explain something because everybody it's different strokes for different folks.
Tell us.
But for me myself, I do work. Of course, I work. My mom always taught me. Like my dad was an entrepreneur. He was very well off. He was also a military veteran. My mom, she worked at a hospital. Thank you. We got all that military at home. But my mom, she worked at a hospital with IT and technology and with information. So my mom always taught us, always make sure you have your own money just in case. Because, worst come to worst, you always got to make sure you're covered. Even if something from your mate leaving, or even if something happens to your mate. Like, we're in life happens. Stuff
we took
happens.
that vow though. We took that vow till death do us part.
Mm-hmm.
So we having secret money on the side just in case you want to leave me or because I die.
Like, well, if you've always got to make sure you have money just in case, because whoa, it's not like, look, you got to make sure okay, all right, I'm gonna throw it out there. Stuff happens. Every human has free will, right?
True. Every human has, yes.
Every human has free will.
Yes.
We've heard of the most holiest people, men stepping out, they doing their own thing, they using the family funds, the fund other people or the female, other males. We've heard about all of that. You always have to make sure you have a nest egg. Like, say for example, if the man is paying 100%, then I would say you need to make sure you have money put back for a nest egg, not just in case he leaves. That's not the case. That's not fully the case all the time. But just making sure, just in case something happens with that man, what if he get injured?
Life insurance, disability insurance, medical insurance.
But I hear what you're saying, but that stuff takes time.
What?
That stuff takes time.
If we married, we getting life insurance expeditiously because I could get hit tomorrow.
I get what you're saying, but it takes time. And that comes from somebody who lost their mother and saw the process of how life insurance. They're sitting there trying to figure out Should we pay him out now? Is she really dead for real? Is it that the life insurance? All these things take time. Like, not saying they don't have, the companies don't have the money, but it's a process.
Yeah.
But the bills never stop running.
Yeah.
Those bills never stop running. God forbid if something happens to my fiance or something, and we don't have something in the back to help. Because as we saw with this pandemic, we saw a lot of these jobs go down the drain.
Yeah.
A lot of these things that people were doing was definitely not essential.
Taking that PPP money and buying a Lamborghini.
And that's exactly why that PPP squad is going to be taking them down the next 10 to 20 years.
It's true.
But it's
Should you
not being
tell?
prepared.
Should you tell your partner though? So okay, let's. I concede, right? You have the side money. You gotta have something prepared just in case. Should you? What can you? Should you tell your partner? Hey, I have this stash that you don't know about. Should your partner know that there is extra money on the side just in case, or do we keep that to ourselves?
I would say do mention it. I would say do mention it because, if but if you don't have if you have a partner that you know is bad with money, I wouldn't. I would be very, use
Would
your
you want
discretion
to
with
know?
it,
Would you want to
huh?
know would you want to know your fiance doing big things? He got a bonus at work, or he got a huge commission sale, big check. Would you want to know? Should you know as his wife?
It's his choice if he would like to tell me. I honestly, no, I'm being everybody
Would
is
you want to know?
everybody's different. It's his
Okay.
choice if he wants to tell me,
Okay.
but he doesn't have to. It's his choice if he wants to tell me, but he doesn't have to. But that's the way I move.
That's fine.
Now, there could be the case of some females be like, you need to tell me every cent that come in this house. You did, so for every cent that
That's
come
what
in this
comes
house,
to mind.
from your paycheck to the bonus, I don't care if Mr. Johnson down the street gave you $20 at the gas station. You need to let me know as soon as it touch your hand.
That's what
But
comes to mind. It's like my wife. Okay, I got a bump. She gonna find out one way or the other. She gonna see the new Ferrari pull up, or she gonna see an increase in the bank account. She gonna see we gonna spend it, a little bit of it, maybe
mm-hmm,
not all of it, but we gonna spend it. She gonna see it somehow. So why not tell
mm-hmm. Man, look,
her?
I'll get roasted. But everybody is different. You're going to have like, say, for example, we have some accounts that are together. We have some that are separate. And that's okay. Some of them you can see, some of them you can't. And that's okay. As long as you're able to, make sure you're able to take care of the household and hold stuff down just when it's necessary. That's cool. And we're still working together what we need to. Like, I guess it's definitely okay with me because I come from a family like that. My dad was an entrepreneur. My mama had her own money. My dad had his own money. They also had accounts that were together. It was, we still have our own money, but we have our money too.
Yeah.
We're contributing all the way around because finding sometimes, let me explain.
You good?
My
You
dad,
good? Don't do
let
that.
me let me explain. Like my dad, wonderful provider, great provider. He's a strong black man out here, wonderful provider. But mama took care of the books, and she know how to work those books and that money. So when it came down to it, okay, she knew how to move it. She knew how to make it multiply. She knew how, she even helped with the business and stuff my dad was an entrepreneur. She even helped with that. He was he was good at that as well, but my mother was definitely a helpmate with him when it came to the money side and all that as well. So her doing what she did when she passed, he was more set up than he thought, with
Mm,
in a good way.
mm. She made sure he would be good even after her.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
That's a
It's
helpmate.
supposed, right. I'm here. That's why I got in my mindset when I got with my person. And I told him, I said, I came in this situation on how everybody, I may get roasted. I can hear a female now saying, that pick me bitch.
Be quiet, man. Whoever you
It's
are
giving,
out there.
it's giving pick me. No, it's not that at all. When you have your stuff together, but I also want to talk about this too. My mom definitely put this in us. You need to make sure you have your stuff together because you can't ask for stuff at a certain level if you're not there.
Ooh. Say that one more time. We got say that one more time, please, for
My
the
mom,
people in the back row.
my mom explained to me. She said that you have to make sure your stuff is together because you can't ask for somebody else at a status that you want them to be, but you're not at.
Mm.
I don't care what they say because sis, if you ain't got a car and you ain't got your own place, you cannot require that man to be like, I understand you have requirements, you have certain statuses you want them to be at, then I'm gonna need you to get there first.
Ladies, do not roast her. I'm coming for y'all. If y'all roast her, I'm roasting back. Right? My TikTok is popping, not as popping as Miss
Now,
Wells, but that y'all need to hear that.
I'm
That's
trying to get like
huge.
you.
That's that is huge. Miss Wells, y'all coming to the stage, spilling the tea. Oh my gosh, this is such good tea. Such good tea. We have to jump in. I want to talk about it because I recently had an interview and the young lady said she never approaches a guy first. How did you and hubby, how did you and the fiance meet? Who approached who first and why? And can we flip that? Whoever approached who first?
I think it was more of a mutual
A
because
mutual approach?
we met through a mutual friend. So you know how typically that type of stuff happens.
Okay.
It's like you're hanging out together and then it ends up being you're hanging out together, you spend time with that person, so it ends up being, oh, I like you too. It's not necessarily like a walk up thing. Now, I do want to make it clear. I come from a family where I was taught that men are the hunters. They're
Wait,
the ones that's supposed to approach you.
why?
Because if they are really wanting you for to be like, I know I'm talking like we wolf pack over here, but
This is good.
I
This is
was
good.
taught that if a man really wants you, they would get out of their ego and they would come to you to approach you to let you know that I want you to be my mate. I want you to date me. I want you to talk to me.
So
But
let but here's the thing. You're not wrong. No one's wrong. This is a friendly, full nurturing conversation to allow you guys
mm,
to decide because you notice she keeps prefacing it, right? She keeps saying, whatever works for you, works for you.
mm-hmm,
Everybody's different. But I always want to point this out. I think women miss out on extremely great guys just as
mm,
much as men miss out in great women because of that teaching. You and I have been taught the exact same thing. Marcus, you gotta get her. You're the hunter. You go out, you kill it, you bring it back home, right? You go out.
mm,
If you want that woman, say something to that woman. But here's
right.
the thing: the guys that you don't want will approach you. And I think that happens more times because of that belief. Because women are waiting for a guy to approach them, they end up with the wrong guys in their inbox versus the guy you've gone out with, you've met probably at a couple events or at the same places or doing the same things. If you're a hiker, you're probably going to bump into another hiker where you're at, especially if you're hiking in a group. So ladies see guys that have the things that they want and will miss every single time because the guy they
Mm,
want and has the qualities they're looking for doesn't even know you exist.
mm.
And so you end up with all the wrong guys because of that mindset. Because the guy you don't want is in your DM, but the guy you see across the room, she see. I had to be very careful when I respectfully inbox Miss Wells because she's a model. We just talked about this earlier, y'all. She's a model. She's been in magazines, book covers, calendars, billboards across the globe. So the DMs, I'm sure, are popping, but those are probably the wrong men because all they see is the modeling. Oh, the lingerie, the boudoir shoot. So they're judging you because they don't know you and they're assuming, let me slide up in here. But 9 times out of 10, 99.99% of the time, those guys are not the guys you would typically
Yeah.
date. Wrong or right? You tell
You're
me.
I feel like that's correct. And I feel like with social media, there is a special type of confidence that these males and people get out here because they don't have to meet this person face to face. Because if they was meeting someone face to face, it would be a total different experience. Because they're okay with hitting someone with it in the DMs on, Messenger or DMs on Instagram. They're okay with if they get rejection or left on red on there. But when it comes down to being presently, physically in front of that person and being rejected, it's a different ball game. I think it's a special type of confidence people get when with especially if they feel like certain females are not at their standards.
Mm.
They'll be like, okay, well, this is just a Instagram model, or this is just a influencer, or she just up here with these type of photos. If they already have a certain type of level that female's at, then they feel like they're just worth. Let me just drop in that inbox. Let me see what I can get out of her. Maybe a picture or something. Let me go ahead and see what the Cash App will work.
Oh my gosh. You're speaking facts. You see the wisdom on her, y'all? The wisdom, the truth. The truth will set you free. Oh my gosh. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. We talking about it. She's hitting on it. Miss Karmea Wells, y'all. Miss Wells, this is a new concept that I'm bringing to the relationship, the dating game. All right. And women are highly upset. I'm talking prenups. Prenups. Would so hear me out. Let me preface it. Let me lay the foundation here. I am a huge advocate. Most recently, this hasn't always been my mindset about having the conversations around prenups. Here's why. Prenups have a negative stigma around them. It's only beneficial to one party. But a woman of your stature, your caliber, the work you've put in, the time you've invested, the traveling, the industry, the grind, the sweat, the hard work, and the times you didn't always have it to do, right? When times were hard. You have something to protect, something you've built over the course of your years. Should we be talking about prenups? I'm an advocate for it. I think more and more people, both sides of the party, have something to lose and therefore have something to protect with a prenup before marriage. What are your thoughts?
Different strokes for different folks. I always have to put that disclaimer on there.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you have people up there, they'll hit me with the, well, I don't know what she's talking about because if I had the money, that prenup is going to be available today. No. And that's, for me, I look at it as I'm going, especially moving up and what I'm doing and things are moving. Okay, for me, this is me. That disclaimer, me. My person was here in the process. He was here in the process of me moving up and stuff. So with that being said, I wouldn't do that as a prenup because we was both at the beginning. Now, if he would have came now or later, yes, we signed a prenup.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Because
so he was in the trenches with you.
Right. When you're in the trenches with somebody from the beginning, when stuff wasn't all glamorous and stuff, and you wasn't moving like that, I feel like that person kind of like earned their keep because clearly he has he believes in you and your career and what you're doing, clearly. But when I just like, I know Drake says something in his lyrics about, how you supposed to find the one when anyone will come with you.
New except for someone new. But how you supposed to find the one when anyone will come with you? Talking to myself, but I never listen. Cause man, it's been
True.
Because when you get to that point, you're not sure who's real or not because they wasn't here before the money. They wasn't here before all this.
Facts. Mic drop.
So I feel it's based off of time. When did they come?
Mm.
When were they in this process? When were they there? Because if they came when stuff was sweet and we all at the stuff is going up and you see it taking flight, where was this before that? Wait a minute.
Mm.
Wait a minute.
You're
Was
talking
she
to the
here?
men now. You're talking to the men.
I'm talking to men or women.
Okay.
I'm talking to either or because I've always been like that type of person. I love my ladies, but we could be wrong. I love the men out here. They could be wrong too. I'm a person, right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't care from either way. And for me, especially for African American men, I've had a lot of males that basically, because there's some people be like, oh, if you as a female you get along with too many males, you must be doing some other things. But that's not it at all. Sometimes you could just be that cool of a female that they able to converse with you about real stuff and able to get that wisdom and have that wisdom back and forth. Because sometimes having somebody that they, especially for African American males, that they could sit down with and be able to talk to and to be vulnerable with without being judged about a lot of stuff, they need that. And I was that for a lot of men, not because I'm doing something with them or we're on a different relationship or a different dynamic. That's not there at all. I had a lot of people who looked at me like a sister throughout high school, throughout college and stuff that really truly, looked at me like I could actually come talk to her. I could talk, she like a sister to me. And you had the ones who try to play that game so they could date you too, but that's another story.
About to literally the bulb went off in my head as soon as she said like, oh, he won't be with you.
You get those few who really try to play those games. Like I'll try to get close to her. We gonna be. I'm trying to be more than friends, but whoa, player no. That's not it. That's not it. But then, like I said, I had those type of dynamics with multiple men. That were cool with me, just with us having that dynamic of being, that's somebody I could truly come and talk to. I won't be judged, and she's gonna give me the real every time.
So the person has been there from the beginning. That's
If the
huge.
person, yeah, if the
That
person was there from the beginning, they was there from the struggling and all that, and you're moving up and stuff, and the big stuff is coming in. That's before me. Yeah. Oh, and you see that person believes in you and they're working with you, you're working with them, you find the ways through this stuff. Yeah. But if they are coming in the midst of you holding your Emmy and all that, whoa.
The award, the red carpet. Hey baby,
right.
let's solidify this. Here's the ring. I booked tickets to
right.
Vegas, and
no.
here's this contract.
You coming out of nowhere with this, there's a red flag already. It's a red flag. The fact that you just floating in here.
What about your growth? So what if you continue to grow, you continue to develop, the person's been there from the beginning. You've known them forever. They've supported you, loved you through it, got you through the difficult times in your career and even, let's say, personal. But they remain the same. So they're still average. They're driving a school bus. We recently had that on TikTok, where a woman straight up said, he didn't elevate, he didn't grow, I can't date no school bus driver. But you have excelled. Is a prenup warranted then? Or you still trust the man?
I feel like there is a conversation that needs to be had.
Love it.
There's a conversation that needs to be had. Personally, if you cool with it, sis, I love this for you. I love this for you. But if you not, a conversation needs to be had with him or her.
Right.
You guys need to have a meeting of the minds to figure that out.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That's real. That's real. You see, this is the kind of conversations we need to have, the conversations we're not having. This is so powerful. So powerful. Round of applause for Miss Wells for putting up with me and this having the hard conversations around dating, because we are not doing them well. Miss Wells, congratulations on your engagement. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. What advice would you give to that young lady who is just frustrated, right? She's frustrated. There's, what do they say? There's poop in the pool, right? The dating pool is full of the wrong things. What advice would you give to that young girl, that young boy who's losing hope about relationships and finding their person, connecting with their person?
I feel like when it comes down to trying to connect with that right person, sometimes we just need to slow down and get to know who you are in that time where you're alone, because it can come unexpectedly. People can come unexpectedly. It cannot come unexpectedly if you stay in your house 24/7. So you have to get out, but make sure you're getting out in good places. The club ain't it. The club is not it.
To find my future wife?
Please no. Oh no. No. Please, not the club.
Scratching that off the list.
You do that at the club, that's at your own risk. I've already said that is not the place. Everybody there for a good time and to leave at 3, okay? But at the time that you're alone, which I am very happy that there's some females that I know of that went straight from their household with their parents straight into a relationship. They had no time to get to know who they were. You know who you're learning, how you are. I feel like there's multiple levels to life. You're in your household with your parent or parents, whichever you whether you have 2 parents, 1 parent. You're in the household with your parents or parents. You're learning yourself and growing with them. You leave the household, you're supposed to learn who you are by yourself even further, to solidify who you are by yourself. Figure out what you want, what you don't want, what you're looking for, what you rather leave behind, what do you want to update, what do you want to keep the same. And you're going continuously through changes. So you need to get to know yourself, because you really can't get out here and try to find somebody that's going to love you if you don't truly love and know yourself. True. So that's something that you really got to stand firm on. I definitely believe knowing yourself before you get out here, because once you get out here, you're going to meet people who are going to try to tell you who you are. And you don't want to ever get mixed up in that. Ever. Man or woman. Because if you don't have, especially going out here into these pack of wolves, these prairie dogs, these hyenas, you got to know who you are.
Where you stand.
When I got into the dating world, I knew who Karmea Wells was. He wasn't about to play with me. I was like, my father is who he is, that's within me. My mama who she is, and that's within me. And you ain't about to play, not with me. So I knew who I was going into this. I know what I was looking for. I know what I wanted. I knew who I was serious about, who I wasn't. I was very upfront and very forward, whether the person liked it or not. Which I did get a few that didn't like it. It was like, oh, so you coming
to play. That's what you just said. That's what I just heard. You coming to waste time, and you thought this was the one.
Right. Right.
Know thyself.
No, yeah, you need to know yourself. You need to know yourself, work on yourself. It's okay, man or woman. It's okay to be by yourself. Use that time as a building moment.
True.
Ain't nothing better than learning yourself.
True.
Because you're building yourself up for the future person or future situation that you would like to be in. And
that's
it's all.
a key word. Keyword situation, not entanglement.
I'm not using that word. I
I'll
can't
use it
stand
for
it. Entanglement just gives a cheater who's trying to cover it up. I just
Love it. Miss Wells, y'all, spilling tea. Love it. Oh, I love this show. Oh my gosh, Miss Wells, you are incredible. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're changing lives for the better. How can my audience connect? How can we find you? Where can my audience go?
Okay, well, I have my Instagram, which is Karma, which is KARMEA_love. And then you have my TikTok, which is Karmea Kiss, KARMEAKISS. And then, you also got my YouTube. I'm working on it. It's Karmea. It's basically Karmea View. So KARMEA, V as in Victor, E as in Edward, W as in Wait. So Karmea View. So I'm working, all these things. I'm working on being consistent with, with all the movement and everything. Y'all know how it goes.
We know how it goes, and we love you for it. Connect. Get on board with this lady. She's changing the game and changing lives. And looks incredible doing it. Love it.
Thank you.
Miss Wells, thank you again for being here. Thank you for giving back in this way and educating us and helping us get to a better relationship. That's all we gotta go, y'all. We love you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, my audience, for tuning in. Their favorite gentleman here on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. You know I love this. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and connect with Miss Wells. If you can't find her, connect with me, and I'll get you to her because she is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I always end every show, take care of your friends, take care of your family, and always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman, your favorite gentleman, and Miss Karmea Wells, changing lives. Love you guys. Bye.
Yes.